Have you ever tried using a website without a mouse? Now imagine relying only on a keyboard because of a disability and finding that most financial websites simply don't work for you. Surprising, right? A new study has revealed that a staggering 69% of fintech platforms fail to meet even the most basic web accessibility requirements. And with a major European law about to go into effect, the clock is ticking. Let's unpack what this means for the fintech industry and why it's such a big deal. Test Dev Lab, a leading quality assurance company, analyzed 100 of Europe's largest fintech platforms. Their focus? Something very simple. Can users navigate these websites using only a keyboard? This is one of the most fundamental aspects of web accessibility, part of the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines that all websites are expected to meet. The findings were alarming. Only 31% of these fintech platforms passed the test fully. Another 51% were only partially accessible, with clunky or confusing navigation. The remaining 18%? They couldn't even be tested properly due to severe usability issues or technical limitations. So why is keyboard navigation so important? For people with disabilities, whether motor impairments, visual challenges, or temporary injuries, relying on a keyboard is often the only way to use a website. That means every button, form, menu, and pop-up needs to be accessible without a mouse. Users should be able to move around logically, see where their focus is on the page, and not get stuck on elements they can't interact with or close. This is especially crucial in fintech. We're not talking about shopping or entertainment. We're talking about banking, lending, insurance, and investing. Services that people rely on for their everyday lives. Services that need to be available to everyone, regardless of their abilities. This study comes just before the European Accessibility Act is set to become law on June 28, 2025. This directive will require all digital services, including fintech websites and mobile apps, to meet accessibility standards. And it's not a small group that's affected. According to the European Commission, about 100 million Europeans, roughly 1 in 4, have some form of web accessibility limitation. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Making a website accessible isn't just about doing the right thing, it's also smart business. One study showed that for every $1 a company invests in accessibility, they could see a return of $90. Why? Because accessible design improves the user experience for everyone, not just those with disabilities. It builds trust, loyalty, and inclusivity. Yet, despite these benefits, the vast majority of fintech platforms are falling short. This digital gap is becoming more serious by the day. Fintechs are known for innovation, but what's the point of innovation if it excludes millions? Alina Shishkevich, head of the Digital Accessibility Testing Department at Test Dev Lab, said it best. Financial service products should be accessible to everyone. An inclusive internet environment is not only a basic right, it also drives business. Companies that prepare now will not only achieve compliance, but also unlock a much wider market. Thankfully, some fintechs are setting the example. Companies like N26, Starling Bank, Bunk, Adyen, and Zopa are among the few that passed the accessibility test. These platforms demonstrate that accessibility and functionality can go hand in hand. And it's not just the fintech world that's under scrutiny. As we approach the enforcement of the European Accessibility Act, every industry, telecom, healthcare, e-commerce, will need to get serious about inclusion. Accessibility can no longer be an afterthought. It must be part of how digital products are designed from day one. So, if you're building a fintech platform, or using one, now's the time to ask the hard questions. Is this platform usable for everyone? Is your design empowering users, or excluding them? Because the future of fintech isn't just digital, it's inclusive. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like, drop a comment below, and subscribe for more updates on tech, innovation, and digital accessibility. Let's make the future work for everyone.